Raw after a pay-per-view, so this one's bound to be fun, isn't it? Oh, yes it is. Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to these. These are going to be some Raw and some Futureshock 72 thoughts. Yes, they are. Bit of deja vu on the old intro there. Couldn't think of anything to say. One of the things I sit here, honestly, if you could see, there was 10 minutes easily of footage of me just going, what the fuck am I going to say? What can I say? I need to think of something funny. I need something witty. Can't think of anything. I just go with the classic. The Raw after a pay-per-view. I hope you guys are well. Just what I wanted to say, last night while Raw was on, I did some live Q&A on Twitter. Which I really enjoyed doing. Thanks so much to everyone who sent me questions. It's fun. It's hard because you've only got 140 characters. But that at the same time makes it more fun because, you know, I can't waffle on for an hour and a half, you know, like I do with my Q&As. So that's an interesting one. Got me a can of Red Thunder here because I'm very, 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 very tired. So Raw starts off last night with Triple H and Steph. Obviously, Steph tries to talk but is cut off by the yes chants and boos. Triple H mocks us, oh, did you not get what you want? It's like, don't be doing that. You were a fucking babyface last week. Make up your mind. You can do that all you want as long as you're a heel. It doesn't matter. Mock us all you want. You can. If you're the big bad babyface hugging Batista like you were last week, doesn't work. Doesn't work. Runs down what happened at Rumble. Then Steph starts to talk about the Elimination Chamber, and here's Daniel Bryan. He tells us to stop shouting yes and stop chanting for Daniel Bryan because it makes the authority mad. Has predictable results, obviously. You sit there with a big smile on your face because you're loving it. Bryan talks about his match, and then about not being in the Rumble. Steph says that he didn't want to put him in jeopardy. Bryan comes back saying that, look, if you didn't want to put me in jeopardy, why did you put me in a handicap match against the Shield? Why did you put me in a handicap match against the Wyatt? Why did you make me wrestle twice in one night? And you're like, man's got a point. They don't care about what's right for business, they only care about putting him down. Classic line where Stephanie says, do you think these people came here to see you? And you can probably guess what happens there, all the fans are chanting. And then Bryan's like, look, did you come here to see Randy Orton? Like, no, boo. Did you come here to see Triple H? Boo. You know, sort of thing. Oh, good. Bryan wants in the chamber match, and he says he gets in Triple H's face and says he won't budge until he gets here. Triple H, because we're all on our own. Triple H just goes, well, we're not all our own, are we? Chills music hits. Now, the only explanation for this is that up up near one of the concession stands or something, the Shield are watching this on a monitor, going, oh, that's our cue. Because they're not in the back or anything watching it, are they? It's just like they're sat waiting for that one moment. That's a bit stupid, I think. Either that or the Shield have got kinetic telekinesis powers or something like that. Anyway, they mission down to the ring. Seth Rollins makes me chuckle as he trips over the barricade. And but Bryan's got a chair. He's ready to go. And then Sheamus and John Cena naturally make the save. And you can pretty much guess what the main event for the night is. No problem with this segment whatsoever. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And of course, yeah, as we come back from a break, 6-man is set. 3-on-3. Winner. Whole team goes into the Elimination Chamber. It's one of those, well, we've already got, it's one of those things that it's like, yeah, that could be a good one, but it's a predictable finish because, sorry, full answer. Yeah, you've got Randy Orton already in there, right? Because they say that Randy Orton will defend. They said in the opening bracket, sorry, that Randy Orton will defend in the Elimination Chamber. So you've got one heel in there already, so that means there'll be 4 heels in there. No. So, yeah, pretty predictable. Meh. Anyway, in our first contest, the Real Americans defeating Ray and Sin Cara. Decent match. Sin Cara playing the masked man in peril. Gotta say, this We the People chant is starting to really get loud, isn't it? It's getting... Stop it. Damn it. It's getting noticeably louder, I think, week in, week out. They could turn them babyface, couldn't they? It's weird, because I don't know how that would work. Why do you like these guys? Well, they stand up for America, and they don't like immigrants, and they come across as just a little bit racist, and I fucking love it! No? Oh, well. Tagging in Ray. Ray bounces around a bit, and then a weird thing, he tags back in Sin Cara, and Sin Cara eats a massive uppercut and the neutralizer for the win. Bad News Brown, who's starting to get over with that fucking gavel, isn't he? The way he keeps banging that gavel, that's going to get him over. Announced it's going to be Miz versus Ziggler tonight in a Battle of Cleveland. Now, I'm guessing both of these guys are from Ohio or something, I don't care. I'm going to get a preview of the Monday Night Wars series on the WWE Network, which, while you want to watch it because it's going to be interesting, at the same time, it's going to be told from a WWE WWE perspective. So you're going to be sat there going, the old cliche that the winner of wars writes the history. So it's going to be written from a WWE bias, which always bugs me, because if they just told the truth about things like this, it would make for a better series. If they will admit, for example, if WWE will admit why WCW were kicking their ass in 1997 and the early part of 1998, it'd make for a better documentary, because telling the truth is better. Oh, never mind. Maybe it's just because I don't lie. See, I've got to stop doing that. I pressed down too far. R-Truth defeated Fandango in a second contest of the night. Emma in the crowd, thank goodness. JBL more interested in Woods' degree. Xavier Woods doing commentary. He made some jokes that, I guess, if you're in America and you're from the point, they said that the university, that's the Harvard of the South, something like that, means jack shit to me, because I'm not from America or at that university, you know? Here's Maddox to introduce Orton for some reason. I suppose Brad's got to do something on the show. Orton's vexed rather than defend his championship in the Elimination Chamber, and here's Batista. Batista had 3 goals, if you remember from last week, to win the Royal Rumble, to headline WrestleMania, to be the champion. 2 down, Randy, 1 to go. He doesn't care who faces at WrestleMania. Here's Bork. Heyman gives Brad, who's still out there, 2 choices. Either go to the authority and say, that, here's your choice. Tonight, it's either Lesnar versus Orton for the championship, or it's Lesnar versus Batista tonight. Off you go, and it's all good fun. It's interesting, a lot of things on Twitter last night saying, look, it's an OVW tape and things like that. Yeah, it made me chuckle. Anyway, in the Battle of Cleveland, we got full introductions from Justin Roberts, like it's a title match, to give it that big match feel. Still didn't care. I don't know if it worked. Ziggler won after the zigzag. I didn't care about this match, right? Let me tell you why. I've got no reason to care about this match, because I'm not from Cleveland. I don't care. Why would I give a shit at all about this match? You know, it's got one of the guys that I truly cannot stand in it. And it's not that, I just need to clarify something with The Miz. It's not that I hate him because he's a heel. I just don't like him because I don't think he's a very good wrestler. And I've got no reason to give a shit about him. You know, if you're a heel one week and then you're coming out wearing a fucking American football college or whatever it is top that you're wearing, trying to get cheers, doesn't work for me at all. Does not work. Make up your fucking mind. Get off my fucking NXT, dick. 10 million people have downloaded the WWE app. I was one of them. It doesn't say how many people have deleted it like me. Also, let's be realistic here, there's 6 billion people live on this planet. 10 million isn't actually that impressive, I don't think. Usos defeating Ryback. JBL didn't do the which I was happy to see. The fans did it. Super kicks by both of them, and a dive to the outside by an Uso, can never tell the difference, and a splash by the other Uso, getting the win. And then Alberto Del Rio defeating Kofi Kingston to really hammer it home that Kofi's win over Randy Orton was a complete fluke. He's got momentum at this moment in time, yeah? Let's look at this realistically, because Kofi defeated Randy Orton, then did his crazy thing in the Royal Rumble. He has got momentum on his side, so he loses to Alberto Del Rio, who, let's be honest, is doing fuck all at the moment. Absolutely nothing. Really stupid. I really enjoyed the match. I thought it was just really sad that he won that one. Lost that one. New Age Outlaws versus the Brotherhood. A rematch for the tag team titles ends in a no contest when Bork comes out and F5s the brothers. Heyman tells us that Triple H took option 3, which was to do nothing at all. The match had been alright. I actually preferred this match to the watch on the pre-show, believe it or not. Especially, more important, for me, it was because the Outlaws were actually trying to get a bit of heel heat, you know? And I think that's something they needed to be doing. I think I'm going to sneeze, just need to point that out. So, excuse me. Why not? I think I'm getting a cold. Bork chairs the brothers as well, just because he can. Eight-woman Divas match happened, the highlight being a 6-way. 3 guys suplexing 3 guys, 3 girls, 3 suplexing 3 girls. That's an interesting one, that is, because the triple or quadruple suplex spot looks good, but I've seen it on so many fucking indie shows now that it's just one of those meh, don't care. They announced the next Hall of Famer. It's Jake the Snake Roberts. Long overdue, if you ask me. So pleased for Jake. One of, if not the best promo man the business has ever seen. And I genuinely believe that if WWE had any sense, they would hire this guy and send him to NXT and get him to teach the students at the performance centre how to cut a promo instead of reading a script. Big difference. Big difference. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in weeks, place your fucking bets. What are you? What are you? Disturbing my video. Where is it? Oh, it's an ambulance. It's an ambulance! Darkleet Road. Someone sent me a tweet yesterday when they were waiting for my Rumble review saying, has it got an emergency service vehicle? And I was like, no, I haven't seen one for ages. Been worried. Yeah, main event was a very good match. And I'll tell you something, when it started at 3:30 UK time, it was like, this one's going to be long. Because bear in mind, they have the overrun, which normally like 5 minutes, but can be up to 15 minutes. You know, you sat there going, yeah, this is going to be a long match. This was a long match. It went 23 minutes and 59 seconds, believe it or not. Very, very, very entertaining stuff. It was all going well. And then, you know, the lights go out. And the Wyatts are here. And basically, the Wyatts caused the Shield to be disqualified. So the winners of the match is John Cena and Sheamus and Daniel Bryan. They all go into the Elimination Chamber. And as you can probably imagine, the fucking Shield are proper vexed about this. Smashing up the announce table. And of course, yeah, they're absolutely furious. I mean, multiple storylines thrown into this one, weaving in and out, and it was, yeah, I actually really genuinely enjoyed this match. I thought this was a good Raw. I genuinely did think it was a good Raw. Apart from the women's match, which I suppose if you like women's wrestling, you may have liked this one. This was, yeah, you will have enjoyed this one, and oh, go away. Sorry, just give me a second. People talking at me. Stop talking at me. I'm trying to do a fucking video. So unprofessional. So unprofessional. Why are you subscribed to me? So, yeah. No CM Punk. Did anyone else notice that one? No, I mean, none. Nothing of CM Punk at all. Yeah, really, really good match in the main event. And what can we say? Remember what I said in my Royal Rumble review, which incidentally at this moment in time has had over 700 views, which is fucking awesome. Thank you so much for that, guys. But it's just a one-off. You don't want a hot shot. If you hear that reaction at Royal Rumble and go, oh my god, we have got to put the belt on Daniel Bryan right this second. No, it's one city. Okay. Yes, Daniel Bryan was very over last night. Yes, of course he was. But it's you don't want to just hot shot straight away. You know, it's one of those. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Futureshock. Futureshock was on Sunday. I was going to say Friday night. Then has there ever been a Futureshock show on Friday night? If there has, I haven't been to one. Futureshock 72 was at the Guildhall Sunday night. It's one of those things, I probably say this is my first one of the year every year. Feels like a very, very long time since the last one, in all truth. Gotta be honest, hand on heart honest, looking at the card, a lot of people go, oh yeah, this card looks awesome. And I'm looking at the card going, I can see a couple of matches that look really, really good, but there's a couple of matches there that are just, you know? But the thing is, right, so all week I've been going, yeah, I can't wait, but there's going to be some matches on this one that I'm not looking forward to. And it's weird because we came to the show in two separate cars, yeah? And on the way there, it seems like we both sets of guys have the same conversation, which is, look, if a card at Futureshock looks meh, every single time we've gone to Futureshock, we've come away from a meh-looking card going, well, that's fucking awesome, wasn't it? So it's like, don't worry about it. If the card doesn't look great, fuck it. You know it's going to be alright. So it's one of those, yes. Getting into the Guildhall, it's weird. We got there ridiculously early. No traffic at all. I was there at 5 o'clock. Like, what the fuck am I going to do for half an hour in the freezing cold? Fortunately, to their credit, the guys opened the doors 5 minutes early, which was, thank you guys, very much appreciated, because it was so cold. Opening contest, 6-man tag team match, which is the Bristol Rovers and Sonny Durson defeating Mark Massa, Dan Evans and Noah. Good match. Crowd were very, very hot for this one, as you can probably imagine. Bristol Rovers, funny as they always are. Sonny Durson with a really, really nice dive to the outside, which was really crazy, because he ran up the ropes, ran up the turnbuckles, yeah, and you thought for a second he was going to slip off, but he managed to turn it into a dive that went round like that, and it was really, really nice. Noah with his singing again, which it's one of those things, if you're not there, it probably sounds like, what the fuck are you talking about? Imagine a nuts guy, every move he does, he starts singing. So he's singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and you just sat there. I mean, honestly, I watched Noah with the biggest smile on my face, and you sat waiting for him to start doing it. When he starts doing it, you're just like, it's the creepiest thing. It is so creepy, but it's the fact that he put so much work into that character. It's like, that is awesome. Also, gotta say, amazing to see Mark Masters back. He is a favourite of mine. I really like him. He's such an intimidating looking bloke. Everything he does is good. Wrestlock Rovers getting the win with DDL hitting a stunner, which is interesting. I like that one. Don Micho defeating Sparks. Sparks' year, you know it is 2014. This was one of the matches where it's like where we were talking about. It's like this one. It could be all right. It was actually a lot better than I was expecting, and the reason for that is that Sparks looked credible. And what I mean by that is there was a couple of times where you thought that Sparks was going to get the win. And he hit some really, really nice moves. There was one point where he hit a body sitter, what's it called? Oh no, brain, what's it called? Spinny. A sort of spinny Brana thingy. And he did like 2 of those. When he goes to do the third one, you're like, well, another one of these. I thought, oh, you've got Sparks. And he turns it into such a nice GT. And you start going, yeah, stop bloody talking. Micho gets the win with a ridiculous lariat, and then he picks up Sparks and does a jackhammer on him. And then Simon Valor comes out and makes the save. Next, James Drake defeating Hot Stuff Hayes. I said I did some predictions on Facebook. I just wrote them out, and I said that Drake would win when Melanie Price turned on the models. And let me explain what I meant by that, and that is that in my experience over the years, babyface tag teams don't need managers. It's that simple. And yeah, we had the discussion on where we're outside, like, but are the models full on babyface now? It's like, well, they certainly looked at it underground. Cy Roberts coming back with the classic, that was underground, that was different. It's like, it's all the same company still. But yeah, that's what I thought. I'm going to throw that one out there. I'm just going to throw that out there. I don't actually think it'll happen, but I thought if I say it and then I've got a justification as well, and that is the truth, isn't it? I think about it. A tag team has a heel manager. It's all good. They can cheat for them. Babyface managers, you know, it's like what they're going to do. You know, they're not going to get involved because they're good guys, and good guys don't do things like that. But I was wrong. The wrong Price is when I did it. As Justin Price goes up to the top rope, I think he shouts "screw you," something like that, and hits a missile dropkick on Hayes so that James Drake can get the win. That was a genuine shot. So yeah, it's one of those. And then just to really solidify it, like I've turned on you guys, they get some scissors and cut the tassels off his trousers. It's one of those. Oh, that's very clever. I like that one a lot. Last match for the intermission was James Rain, whoever that is. Dave Rain and the Nordic Warrior defeating the Island Brothers. Been quite critical about this match because the Island Brothers, first night in the company, and now you got to remember, I've called every single one of the Island Brothers, not every single one, but the majority of the Island Brothers matches in GPW. I think they're a good tag team. I think a big part of their image is Simon R. Valor. Simon Valor, who wrestles Futureshock, is a manager at GPW, and he does all the talking for them. The Island Brothers don't talk. And I thought, if they haven't got him with him, I don't know if this dynamic is going to work. And the other thing is, I have a big issue with people getting tag team shots or just title shots for no reason at all. So the Island Brothers have got a title shot for nothing. And it's one of those, so what have they done to earn the title shot? Nothing. They've just got one. And you're like, okay, let's do some thinking. When you're like, right, so there's got to be a reason for this, and the only reason you can think of is that Rain and Warrior want to be known as fighting champions, so they're prepared to put the belts on the line at every single show. And it's one of those, all right, okay, I'll give them that one, only if they say so. If they specifically say, we will defend these belts at every show against anyone who wants a shot. That's all good, but as far as I know, that didn't happen. So it's one of those, don't want to that's me nitpicking to the final dot, isn't it? Anyone else would just go, fuck it, dude, just let it go. And that's at the end of the day, I just went, fuck it, let's just see how this one goes. Problem is, in my opinion, the Island Brothers, I think what it is that because Dave Rain is so over at Futureshock, I mean, he's the most over guy there by a mile, you know, and it's just, it feels so weird. I'm a big Dave Rain fan, obviously, and this was the top t-shirt on the pile, honestly. I didn't pick this one out on purpose. Promise you I didn't. But it still feels weird sitting in the crowd while everyone's going nuts for this guy that I used to cheer from, like a sort of a guilty pleasure sort of thing. You know, everyone would boo. I'm like, yay, Dave, sort of thing, you know. But the thing is, what I'm saying is that because he's so over, we're going to boo the Island Brothers by default, aren't we? So in that respect, they don't need Simon or Valor to get him any heat. That's why I'm trying to go with this. Very long-winded way to get there, but that's what I'm basically trying to say. The other problem I had here, and this is, you know, nitpicking again, I thought the Allen brothers were actually quite sloppy. I counted 4 botches that they did, and each time you start going, I've got a feel for one of them, whichever one it is who's got the short hair, I forget. Dave Rain went for a leg drop off the top rope, and oh man, this made us cringe because Dave's ass came down the side of his face, and you just sat there going, he will feel that tomorrow. That the wince of utter agony was golden. The double backcracker getting the win for the tag team champions. After a short intermission, Xander Cooper defeating Simon Valor. This was one of those matches where, I mean, if I was doing this show, I would have put this match where James Drake versus Joey Hayes was, because this match, I don't know, the crowd just didn't seem to give a damn about most of this one. Xander Cooper's got a new coat, yeah. It's got a great big shoulder spikes coming out of it that go out like that, and you just like going, oh, are you actually trying to be a vampire or something? Fantastic stuff. I'm not saying this was a bad match. Trust me, I'm not. It's just I just didn't care. I just was like, you know, we need something to get us back into the wrestling after the intermission. Just not really that interested, to be honest. You know, I've said before, I'm very about Simon Valor at the best of times, and this one, yeah, I think because the models are so over at Futureshock, I would have put Hayes in this position because that would have got us right back into it, wouldn't it? Yeah, I'm not, like I say, not saying the match is bad, but the finish was fantastic. An MXC3 off the top, which is a jumping backcracker, basically. You know, backcracker has become the most popular move in wrestling nowadays, hasn't it? A jumping backcracker off the top rope was fantastic. But that is because Valor had gone up top. Don Micho comes out and basically knocks, you know, basically whacks Valor. And Xander Cooper won the trophy tournament last year. And he comes out with the trophy, puts it on the apron as you would. And then when Don Micho comes out, kicks over, it splits into 3 pieces. And you're like, Jesus Christ, that's destroyed that. Instantly, can anyone let me know? I've always thought the trophy was silver, but Xander's trophy is gold. Just wondering, is it a different trophy each year, and you know the wrestler gets to take it home, or is it a new trophy? Just wondering about that one. Yeah, MXC3 off the top. Jerry Vega defeating Ryan Hendricks, who had the most beautiful Danny Hunter in her new purple gear. With it, like, interesting, this one. Me and Dave Rain booked this match for my charity show, so I always knew this was going to be a really good match, and it was really, really good. A friend of ours called Leanne was sat with us in our little corner. Like sitting in the corner, want to sit there again. Don't like having a ring post in my view, but yeah, that's me. But what it means, I can hear the commentary, and I really like that. I like being able to hear Mark and Matthew's commentary. But yeah, Leanne sat with us, and from the... Want to guess? Another ambulance. What's going on down there? It's going the same way as well. Interesting. Yeah, basically from the opening bell, Danny Hunter and Leanne are sat proper jaw-jacking. And you sat there going, fucking go near Leanne. I said, I can't. At one point, Danny gets into the ring and Leanne jumps out of her seat and goes, poof! Proper big forearm shot. And then, I mean, obviously with J-Dole wrestling fans, we knew this was going to, obviously this is meant to happen. The way that Damian Smith then grabs her and throws her into the street, we've been told afterwards. Fucking brilliant. What a fantastic little touch. I was so chuffed with that. And of course, that instantly makes you go back. Want to see Leanne versus Danny? Next out, please. I've known Leanne a long time now, a good couple of years, and I'm a big fan of her brother as well, Lee. And I've never seen Leanne wrestle, which has always bothered me. But yeah, I sat afterwards. I'm like, you know, some of the guys are like, so who was that? I'm like, Leanne Austin. I'm like, who? I was like, I brought up there's a clip from my charity show where Leanne hits her. She's got the best finishing move in wrestling, in my opinion. Tilt-a-whirl stunner, I call it. I don't know if it's got a proper name. Imagine that, a tilt-a-whirl into a stunner. Fucking stunning. And I brought it up on my phone while they were doing the raffle. Like, look, this is what she can do. And I was like, oh, my, yeah, isn't it? Sort of thing. So if Danny versus Leanne happens, I'll be really, really chuffed. Main event, T-Bone and Cyanide with Chris Egan, who's wearing shorts and looked like he had a drawn-on moustache. God damn, that guy's funny. Defeating Zach Diamond Gibson and Jack Gallagher. Jack Gallagher. Why does he even call him Gallagher because he's a heel and wants to piss him off? Anyway, this match was stunning. When you're looking at the clock and it's 8 o'clock, you know the show's going to finish at about 1:30. You're like, yeah, this one's going to be long. and this one had everything. This had everything that I wanted in it. T-Bone and Cyanide both looked great, both worked well as a team. You had a little bit of tension between Jack and Zach because, of course, Jack's a former champion, so that's all good. Crazy dives to the outside is all good, hard-hitting stuff. Jack playing the gentleman in peril, as I called him on the night, because he's the gentleman Jack Gallagher, so he's the gentleman in peril like that. I actually made myself chuckle with that one. And yeah, T-Bone pinning Gallagher, like I said on my predictions, which I was very chuffed about. A spike impact DDT. And basically, I don't know if this was announced earlier in the show or announced before it started, but if, by the looks of things, it was whoever got the winning pinfall, if it was on the heels team, got the title shot at the next show. So that was a little bit confusing because it was one of those. Because basically after the match finished, Mark Adams gets on the mic and said, "Look, T-Bone gets the title shot next time." And we're sort of looking around going, "How the fuck's he done that?" You know, that because I don't think it was announced beforehand. If it was, hands up and I'll say I'm sorry. But that, at the same time, I'm not going to fucking complain, because if I'd bothered to do my 2013 awards, which I didn't just because I couldn't be arsed, but if I had done them, on my notes I had 2. I couldn't decide on a wrestler of the year, so I basically decided on 2. One was Zach Gibson, the other was T-Bone. So basically, next Futureshock, I get to see my 2 favourite wrestlers of 2013 going at it one-on-one, which is a hey, happy days. Good show. Came away very, 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 very happy. Apart from thingy, I've had mean messages from Danielle Hunter this last couple of shows saying I didn't get a hook because I've had to go straight away. This time I said to myself, right, I'm going to hang around so I can get my hook. She comes out, I'm like, hey, and she's like, no, go on. Walk straight past me. Like, well, fuck you then, Danielle. Damn. Other than that, you know, yeah. So basically any nitpicking that I've done on this one is one of those. Yeah, only I would do that. I've got to do that because if I just do a Futureshock review where it hasn't got any nitpicking on it, just sounds like me kissing their asses, doesn't it? And I can't do that, can I? What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, yes, I'm going to PCW at the end of February. I've booked tickets for the Road to Glory Night 1. AJ Styles and Chris Hero are there. So got to go to that one. I don't like going to shows just for imports, but you know, this one, that's got to be done, hasn't it? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, my next vid will be tomorrow. I'm going to do a Raw 26th of the 1st 1998 review. I hope you enjoyed this one. I've been Mark P. Thank you so much for watching. Take it easy, guys.